Hello, this is Inger with Norway Calls. Our ancient Norwegian kings could have many sons, but initially, after Harald Fairhair unified Norway, there was no rule to decide which one should inherit the throne when his father died. The motive on my silver brooch illustrates a very dramatic event. Our king number 29 was Håkon Sverreson. He was supported by a rebellious group called Birkebeinerne, a nickname meaning birch legs because they were so poor that they covered their legs with birch bark. Håkon Sverreson was only king for a couple of years before he suddenly died. A few months later, however, he had a son born out of wedlock. Birkebeinerne saw this baby, Håkon Håkonsson, as the future king. They realized that he was threatened by their opponents Baglerne and decided to bring him from Lillehammer, home of the 1994 Olympics, to safety in Trondheim. It was winter, and the two most able Birkebeiner skiers, Torstein Skjævla and Skjervel Skrukka, went a long and very demanding distance on skis while carrying the royal baby to safety. The Norwegian text on my brooch can translate to Birkebeinere on skis are bringing the young Håkon Håkonsson to Trondheim. Håkon Håkonsson grew up and became king of Norway. In 1260 he passed a law stating that the oldest son born to the king in marriage automatically should become king when his father died. The 33rd king of Norway was Eirik Magnusson. When he passed away in 1299, only 31 years old, he had no sons. Then his 2-year younger brother, Håkon Magnusson, became the 34th king of Norway. In his marriage with Euphemia, Håkon had only one daughter, named Ingebjørg, and no sons. As a female, Ingebjørg could not possibly inherit the throne, but she had a small son, Magnus. Håkon had figured out the solution and had the law changed so that his grandson Magnus could inherit the throne. There was, however, a kind of a catch to it. You see, the husband of Ingebjørg and father of little Magnus was Erik Magnusson, son of the Swedish king. When King Håkon died in 1319, the line of male descendants in the royal family was broken. Little Magnus then became king of Norway, even though he was only 3 years old. The same year he also became king of Sweden. This was the beginning of several hundred years when Norway shared a monarch with neighboring countries, initially with Sweden and from 1380 with Denmark. Over time, Norway became increasingly controlled by Denmark. This also affected daily life for ordinary Norwegians in many ways. For example, did they only learn to write in Danish, which was not so different from Norwegian. Fast forward to the time of the Napoleonic Wars. Then Norway was a predominantly poor peasant society, remote from power and glory. In January 1814, Denmark negotiated peace in the German city Kiel, and there agreed to transfer Norway to Sweden. This was a unique situation. Denmark stopped executing power over Norway, and Sweden had not yet gained control. Resourceful people in Norway decided not to accept that their country was traded between foreigners. Norway wanted freedom. Rapidly, a constituent assembly of 112 elected representatives gathered. The Norwegian constitution was completed May 17, 1814, and now our Constitution Day on May 17th is a big celebration in Norway. The Assembly of 1814 also elected the Danish Prince Christian Frederick as the new king, and Norway intended to stay independent. Sweden could, however, not accept to let go of Norway and immediately decided to attack. The Swedish army was superior to Norwegian forces. For example, many of the Swedes had been trained during the Napoleonic Wars. Luckily, peace negotiations were soon initiated, and on November 4, 1814, Norway entered a union with Sweden after all. The fresh King Christian Frederick had to give up his position and went home to Denmark, where he later became king. Now the Swedish King Karl became king of Norway too. We did, however, keep the Norwegian constitution with only a few modifications due to the union. The Norwegian union with Sweden was mostly a peaceful one, but in 1905 we had a major political disagreement. The Norwegians found a kind of a loophole to exit the union. We also had a referendum in Norway, whereafter the union came to an end. If Norway should stay a monarchy, we needed a new king. The search for a candidate to the possible royal position ended with the Danish Prince Carl. Prince Carl had heard about politicians who wanted to make Norway a republic and would only accept the position if the Norwegian people wanted him. Norway held another referendum, and a strong majority elected Prince Carl for their new king. Carl then changed his name and became the seventh King Håkon of Norway. His little son, Prince Alexander, also was given a new name, Olav. His wife, Princess Maud of Wales from the United Kingdom, kept her name and became our Queen Maud. The Norwegian Postal Service celebrated the arrival of this great family with this beautiful stamp 100 years after the birth of the prince who later became our King Olav. Since 1905, King Håkon and his descendants are the royal family in Norway. Our flag was actually created in 1821. While in union with Sweden, however, there were disagreements on which flag Norwegians could use where and when. Since our independence in 1905, the Norwegian flag is a strong national symbol that we proudly display. As a curiosity, I can tell that one of my sons now is a student in Denmark, where he celebrated May 17th with other Norwegians. Then they had made Norwegian flags just by painting blue crosses on Danish paper flags. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Please subscribe to be notified about future episodes. For further information, check out our website at norwaycalls.com.